So Ultimate Ears has just released a new speaker, the Everboom. And not only that, but they've also released upgrades to the existing Boom speakers. And quite frankly, it was well overdue, because if you look at the Boom 3, well, that was released back in 2018. So it was definitely worth an update. So there are now 6 Boom speakers in the range. There's the new Wonder Boom 4, the Boom 4, the Mega Boom 4, the Everboom, Epic Boom, and Hyper Boom. The space is getting pretty crowded. So, if we look at the specs of the brand new speakers, are they worth upgrading to, and are they something you should be interested in? So the first one I'm going to look at is the Wonder Boom speaker. So the Wonder Boom 3 versus the Wonder Boom 4. And I've got to say, it's pretty disappointing, because it is the same height, the same weight. It has exactly the same 40mm drivers in it. It's got the same size passive radiators. It's the same volume. It's got the same battery life. It's got the same Bluetooth range. The only real difference, and I would actually say this is a fairly big difference, not on just the Wonder Boom, but across the entire range, is they all now finally, I do mean finally, have USB-C charging. Like, never has that been such the biggest change to a speaker, because honestly, that's the only change. The Wonder Boom 4 does also have a podcast mode, which this says makes vocals clearer on the speaker, but that's just basically an EQ preset to give you clearer vocals. It's not exactly something I'd call as a killer feature. So it's good that the Wonder Boom series finally has USB-C charging. It's certainly not a reason I'd go and update from the 3 to the 4. Moving on to the Boom. So the Boom 3 versus the Boom 4. As I said, the Boom 3 came out in August 2018. So with the Boom 4, you'd think there'd be a fairly significant upgrade. Well, it's exactly the same size. It is 12 grams heavier than the Boom 3. Now, the slightly annoying thing with UE speakers is they've stopped quoting frequency range. So they quoted a 90 hertz to 20 kilohertz range for the Boom 3, and they've completely missed it off for the Boom 4. They've actually missed it off for any of their speakers. You can't find that information anywhere. I've looked, I've tried to find it, and I can't. If anyone manages to find it or find that information out, let me know in the comments down below, and I can add it into the video description to help people out. It has drivers that are different sized. So on the Boom 3, they were two 2-inch drivers. On the Boom 4, they are two 1.57-inch drivers. So they got smaller. The passive radiators changed as well. So on the Boom 3, they were two 2x4-inch drivers. On the new Boom 4, they're smaller again. So they're two 1.81 by 2.57 inch. It is quieter as well. So the Boom 3 went up to 90 decibels and the Boom 4 does 85. It has the same amount of hours of battery life, 15 hours on the Boom 3 and 4. It is rechargeable using USB-C as opposed to the micro USB on the Boom 3. Same battery range or Bluetooth range of 45 meters. Now, UE does say that the Boom 4 and their other speakers should have a tighter, more fuller bass than their previous speakers. Looking at the stats though, I don't know. Smaller drivers, smaller radiators, and not as loud. Moving on to the Mega Booms. So you got the Mega Boom 3 versus the Mega Boom 4, and unsurprisingly, they're the same size. The Mega Boom 4 is 10 grams heavier. Sound drivers are exactly the same, two 50mm or two 2-inch full range drivers, and the passive radiators are the same as well, two 55 by 86mm. Sound volume is about the same, 90 decibels on the Boom 3, 91 on the Boom 4. Both have 20 hours of battery life, micro USB on the Boom 3, USB-C on the Mega Boom 4. Bluetooth range is the same, 45 meters. And again, it's similar to the Boom 4. Ultimate Ears is saying that the bass is bigger and bassier on the Mega Boom 4. But looking at the stats here, the drivers are the same, the passive radiators are the same, the volume's the same. So on paper, other than USB-C charging, it doesn't look like a big change. So the one that interested me the most was the Everboom, which is essentially their cut down version of the Epic Boom, which came out last year. So the Epic Boom was pretty cool, but it was also pretty expensive. So the Everboom basically takes that form factor and cuts it down to a more manageable, portable form and makes it cheaper at the same time. So if I compare to the Everboom to the Epic Boom. So you're looking at something that's 50mm shorter, it's about 40-50mm less wide, so it is definitely a smaller speaker. It is significantly lighter as well, it's over half the weight. The Epic Boom is 1,979 grams or 1.9 kilos, whereas the Everboom is only 960 grams, so there is a noticeable weight difference. There is quite a difference between the drivers between these two speakers. So the Epic Boom has two 45mm mid to high range drivers backed up by a 120mm woofer. The Everboom, however, has two 56mm full range drivers with a 49mm by 87mm passive radiator, and it has two of those. So definitely a different setup in the sound drivers of these speakers. There's not too much sound difference volume wise between the two. So the Epic Boom definitely is louder. It goes up to 95 decibels for the Epic Boom. Everboom goes up to 91. The battery life between the two, you actually have more battery life on the Everboom, 20 hours on the Everboom versus 17 hours on the Epic Boom. Bluetooth range is the same at around 55 meters. So do any of these interest you? Are you super excited by their release, or are you just a little bit underwhelmed? And if you already got a UE speaker, well, would you upgrade? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, price does come into it, and with the release of these new speakers, there's now 6 Boom speakers in the range, from the $99 Wonderboom 4 all the way up to the $449 Hyperboom. And with only $50 separating most of the speakers in the range, well, it's now even harder to choose which to buy. So it's an interesting time to get a speaker. So I will leave purchase links to all of these speakers in the description down below so that you can go check them out for yourself. If there's a particular speaker that you're interested in getting an in-depth review on, let me know in the comments down below as well, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and share it. Consider subscribing if you're not. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.